7 Indians are among the injured in the Christmas market attack in Germany. 5 were killed and over 200 people were left injured after an SUV plowed through the market in Magdeburg. According to sources cited in the reports, 3 of the 7 Indians injured have already been discharged from the hospital. India's Ministry of External Affairs in a statement condemned the attack, calling it horrific and senseless. It said several precious lives have been lost and many have been injured. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims. US President Joe Biden called the deadly car ramming as despicable and a dark event and added that Washington was in contact with German officials. Also, UK, France, or among other countries, they voiced their solidarity with Germany. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz visited the site in Magdeburg to take stock of the situation. Scholz thanked world leaders for voicing their support, adding that it is very positive to hear that Germany is not alone. He called for in-depth investigation into the incident.
Jetzt ist es wichtig, dass wir aufklären und dass das mit aller Präzision und Genauigkeit geschieht. Es darf nichts ununtersucht bleiben und so wird es auch sein. Das haben wir uns überall miteinander versichert, im Bund, mit dem Land, mit allen, die vor Ort hier Verantwortung haben. Und natürlich müssen wir genau den Täter, seine Handlung, seine Motive verstehen, um dann auch mit den strafrechtlichen und den notwendigen anderen Konsequenzen darauf zu reagieren. Und das werden wir.
A Saudi man has been arrested so far. He's a doctor who's been in Germany since 2016. He lived in Bernburg, which is 40 kilometers south of Magdeburg, on a permanent residence permit. Now, as per prosecutors, the suspect may have been disgruntled with Germany's treatment of asylum seekers from his home country, Saudi Arabia. According to reports, German police has been repeatedly warned that the suspect posed a terror threat. The Saudi government had sent 4 warnings to German authorities over the extreme views of the suspect, a former Muslim who posted his plans to do something big on social media. Tech titan Elon Musk slammed Scholz for the attack, calling him an incompetent fool. He has demanded his immediate resignation. Meanwhile, Magdeburg City Councillor for Public Order Ronnie Krug announced the closure of the Christmas market, saying Christmas in Magdeburg is over.
Weil sie Helferinnen und Helfer waren von der Polizei. Die Gewalttäter dieser Welt sind Zerstörer.
Deadly attack which took place in Germany. 5 people were killed, over 200 were injured when a man driving an SUV plowed through a Christmas market in Magdeburg. 7 Indians were among the injured in the Christmas market. And as I mentioned earlier, over 200 people were injured and 5 people were killed, including a 9-year-old. Okay, to discuss this further, we're now being joined live by Dr. Volker Stanzel. He's a former German ambassador and a foreign policy analyst. Dr. Stanzel, thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast. So till now, reports have suggested that the attacker was a lone perpetrator. What more do we know regarding the attacker's reasons? There are reports which are suggesting that Saudi Arabia had warned Germany in advance and multiple times that this person could pose a threat. What more do we know so far?
Well, seems to be indeed a fact that Saudi intelligence knew this guy was up to something, even though it's a weird story, as you have recounted yourself. It is somewhat strange that someone who comes from a Muslim background suddenly intends to kill the host country's citizens because they're too lenient to Muslim immigrants into that country. He threatened several times on the internet that he would kill Germans because they received too many Muslim immigrants. He obviously is not a Muslim anymore, even though he was born one.
Dr. Stanzel, there hasn't been any other concoction in terms of, the reasons behind or any other group involved. He's being called a lone perpetrator. But as of now, the implications for Olaf Scholz in particular, his coalition government collapsed. He recently lost the confidence vote and elections are around the corner in February, if I'm correct. Do you foresee more tremors within the German political landscape post this event or any geopolitical implications?
Neither the one nor the other one. I think this is obviously a tragic incident. It's tragic also because security in Germany was forewarned many times ever since 8 years ago. A IS member drove a truck into a Christmas market in Berlin. So since then, security was on high alert. That is true also in Magdeburg, but obviously insufficiently, because the perpetrator was able to enter the Christmas market with his car through the lane that was kept open for emergency cars. And he was also able to leave the Christmas market at another space where obviously the bollards were too wide apart from each other. So insufficient security, that is something that will have to be dealt with by local authorities and by obviously also federal authorities.
Dr. Volker Stanzel, thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast. Dr. Stanzel is a former German ambassador and foreign policy analyst.